Are you going through a divorce? Have you thought about how you will negotiate the divorce settlement? Hi, I'm Simon Dippenaar and I'm a family lawyer. Now, there are three types of divorce in South Africa: contested, uncontested, and mediated. An uncontested divorce is the quickest and least expensive option. If you and your spouse are on civil terms, the best option is to work together to agree on maintenance, division of assets, childcare and contact, and other important decisions. You will still need legal advice to ensure you don't overlook the more complex aspects of financial uncoupling, such as pension splitting, but you will save a lot of cost and time if you and your spouse agree on the basic financial structure of the divorce before you sit down with your attorney. If you can't agree on anything, your divorce will go to court, and the court will determine the terms of the divorce. Now, a contested divorce can drag on for a long time and rack up enormous costs, so try to avoid this if you can. If there is acrimony between you and your spouse, but you are on speaking terms, a professional mediator can help you negotiate and arrive at a settlement. Mediated divorce costs more than an uncontested divorce, but a lot less than going to court. Whether your divorce is uncontested or mediated, you are going to have to negotiate your divorce settlement. By the time you reach this stage, you've already gone through an intensely emotional process. But don't falter now. You need all your focus and resilience. The divorce agreement you negotiate will have long-term consequences for your financial and emotional well-being. It's essential to approach the negotiations calmly, rationally, and well-prepared. I know it can be hard to remain impassive, but you loved each other once and now you both deserve to move on with dignity. If you have children, you will have an ongoing relationship. Sticking it to your spouse is hardly a good start to post-divorce co-parenting. These tips may help. Now, don't defend a position. Look after interests. In other words, don't approach the negotiation with an immovable position in mind. Rather, focus on the need you are trying to meet. If you approach negotiations with a figure in mind, and that figure is non-negotiable, you can wind up at a stalemate. Rather, know what you are trying to achieve, what outcome you need. For example, being able to stay in the family home or maintain a certain standard of living, rather than winning a maintenance claim. There are always multiple ways of structuring an arrangement. Focus on finding a workable solution that meets the need rather than a fixed monetary amount. Now, use your emotional intelligence. The person sitting across from you is not your enemy. You cared about them once and possibly still do, even if you no longer wish to be married to them. Treat your spouse with respect and try to understand what they are going through. Your knowledge of their emotional triggers can help you understand what's going on. Use your emotional intelligence to find more creative solutions to difficult issues. If you are prepared to meet a particular emotional need, they may be willing to ease up on a financial demand. Conceding a much-loved family pet, if you know in your heart it means more to your spouse than you, could create goodwill that will pay you unexpected dividends. Avoid saying hurtful things. Imagine how you would feel if the tables were turned. If they were turned, i.e. if your spouse says something hurtful to you, keep your emotions in check. Know that they are only trying to hurt you because they are hurting. And don't rise to the bait, however hard that may be. Be honest. Negotiations can only succeed when there is trust between the negotiating parties. For trust to be established, there has to be honesty and transparency. This may be difficult if one of the reasons for the divorce has been dishonesty in the past. Nevertheless, don't try to hide assets or financial information. Provide information they request promptly, neatly, and willingly. Operate in good faith, and it will stand you in good stead in the negotiating process. Focus on the problem, not the person. You have decided to divorce for whatever reasons. This is not the time to dredge up old arguments. You need to arrive at an agreement that allows you both to move to the next stage of your life as smoothly as possible. That's the shared problem. So set aside the emotional issues. Distance the problem from the person and focus on what needs to be done and how you're going to do it. Now, communicate, both during negotiations and in your preparations. Effective communication is key. Express your views clearly. Focus on what you feel and what you need, not on what they have said or done or not done. As a family lawyer, I've observed and supported many divorcing couples. This advice is the result of long experience. I hope it helps you navigate a very difficult time. If you are considering divorce or negotiating a divorce settlement and need legal advice, please give me a call on the number in the signature below.